Hello there, everyone. You have read that title correctly. To the whopping zero people who care, this is the end of Worlds of Wonder. It's ending here. There will not be an episode 6. This is it. Why have I done this? Well, let's get the elephant in the room out of the way. Episode 5 has gotten 2 views in the past 2 weeks. Not that I care about views, even though I say that so much, you definitely think I care about views. Which, to be fair, you have to a degree. Like, if I keep making this series and no one's watching it, then it's clearly not working. That's not the reason I'm cancelling it, for the record. That's not the reason I'm ending the series here. The reason I am is because I don't like the park. I don't like building it. It's just the motivation hasn't been there for the past 4-5 episodes. It's not how I play the game. I tend to play Planet Coaster, simulating a park in real time, yet making those decisions as the park grows, as a real park manager would. This, however, and I guess Richmond Park to a degree, but even then that was a bit more free flowing. I can make decisions on the day about what I was building. This Worlds of Wonder, however, everything's already been planned out, which is a bit boring because there's no creative. Well, there is creativity, obviously, but there's no real time creativity in that. I already know what I'm building. I know what the next 5 areas are going to be. I know exactly what's in them. I know exactly what they're going to look like. There's no space to actually think about what the park's going to look like in there, and that's really boring. Not to mention, like I say, it's just I've just never played the game like this. Having this one super big pre-planned detailed park, never done it before. Like I say, aside from maybe Richmond Park, but even then, that was one episode. That was a whole area. I can move on to the next thing. This series, due to this scale and nature of the park, it's gonna drag on. It would drag on for so long. It would because each area, even just the Twilight District with is one coaster, has taken, it would have been 6 episodes, and that's really boring. Nobody wants to watch that. I don't want to make that. They were just never fun videos to watch. They were really boring. But overall, I think it's better to have the series go out on my own terms than drag out for another 30 episodes. And so I'm sorry to anyone who cared about the park. It's done. It is not what I don't think I'm not enjoying it. I haven't enjoyed it for 5 episodes now. Actually, the first episode wasn't that bad because it was major coastal construction. I actually got to do something, and then it just became theming the same buildings, the inside, the outside, just for hours on end, just putting in the same theming in the same buildings. It got so boring, and I don't want to do it anymore. It's not an interesting park to me. However, it's unfair to leave it off here. And so you're going to join me for one more real-time section where I'm going to just reveal everything that was hidden in the park. I'm going to give away, reveal what all of the theme lands would have been. However, it's not necessarily the end for them. I'll get to that later. At the end of the real-time section, I'll get to that. And then I'll finally give you a POV of Hush Rush Postal Service. So, no point in dragging this on any longer. Let's go to the park. And you join me one last time out here in front of Worlds of Wonder. And there goes Hush Rush Postal Service, which don't worry, you will be getting a POV for. But first things first, let's just turn our attention back here for a minute, because it'd be unfair to end this park without revealing what these would have been. I think it's the only way out. So I'm going to give you a dramatic recap of what each of them would have been in sequence. Although I will say, just for the record, this is not the end for these themes. Once again, I'll get into this at the end, but there is a chance that these come back. So no one steal these, because they might come back in the next park, who knows. Anyway, let me now reveal what the 5 hidden themes would have been for Worlds of Wonder. Starting off, you're already familiar with the Twilight District. Too familiar with it, in fact, that's why the series is ending. You're too familiar with this area, so it needs no introduction. Vault Labs. This would have been an area themed to science and discovery, with a slight hint of a darker themes. So the primary coaster in this area would have been Megawatt, an Intamin Blitz with a swing launch, and it would have been joined by a major supporting dark ride, Mindwave, the theme of which I will not give away because it's a really cool theme. and it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back, and I don't want to give away the surprise just yet. But it would have been joined by Mindwave. Next up is the Deep Woods. This area would have been home to a GCI wooden coaster called Folklore. This area would have been themed to a dark, evil woods full of mysterious powers that do some spooky stuff. There would have also potentially been a Vekoma New Gen suspended coaster in here. However, I was never fully 100% on that plan. And then there's Last Resort. This would have been a water park themed to a tropical paradise long lost to time. There would have been a variety of water slides, pools, and other general fun stuff in here, and this would also mark the first time in about a year and a half I've used the water park features. Project Biotech. This is a newcomer of a theme. After all, it was only introduced in the previous area, replacing the Forgotten Realm. However, it would have been themed to an abandoned experiment, aiming to combine technology and nature in a way never seen before. The main coaster in this area would have been a B&M Hypercoaster, which would dominate both the skyline and the entire back of the park. It would have also been joined by a Mack Big Dipper, whose name I never quite settled on, but it would have been in there. And finally, the Starlight Auditorium. I had to end on my favourite one. It has to come back, surely. So yeah, this one is not the end, definitely not the end for this one, hopefully. But this would have been themed to my favourite musical of all time, Starlight Express. Specifically, the Wembley production, which since this park starting has now closed. This area was supposed to open while the production was still going, however, you know, the series took far too long. So yeah, this production has sadly closed quite a way back now, actually. However, this will not stop this area from coming back. I love Starlight Express so much, and it would be unfair to cheat it out of the park. So in the next one, it will definitely come back at some point. Also, hi, me interjection. If you see that Starlight Auditorium sign up there, it's built out of about 3,000 art pieces, and it took me about an hour. I am not letting that go to waste. I am using it again for the next time this area comes around, trust. And so, there are the areas that we never quite got in this park. I liked these themes. I thought they were really quite interesting. But like I say, they just weren't quite fit for this park. And so, that leaves me with two more things to do. I was going to say one, but there is actually another thing for me to do. First things first, let's go take a ride on Hush Rush Postal Service. After all, it's long overdue. I've cheated you out of a POV for like 5 episodes. It's time. Let's go take a ride on it. Okay, and here we are in the centre of the Twilight District. Of course, the outside of the buildings never quite got done, but that's not a problem. What's important is that the inside of the buildings got done, and you know what, I think that's more important for Hush Rush Postal Service. So, let's go take a ride. After a queue walk through, because come on, it's the only real way. Well, oh, hello. When did you get here? I don't remember hiring anyone. Who is this guy? See, look at that. The park's so full of surprises even for me. I have no idea who that is. I don't remember ever hiring him. Anyway, let's head in to Hush Rush Postal Service. So we make our way through, of course, this room full of boxes. Won't be the first time we see a room full of boxes on this ride. As we make our way past these ominous doors, into the ominous corridor, actually. Past all the pipes. Once again, a recurring theme in this ride. Pipes and boxes. Into the pre-delivery inspection room, which I still think is a cool effect. I have to do something like this again in the next part, because... Hang on, wait, hold. Coaster brake. Whee! Yeah, I'll have to do something like this in the next park as well. Because, I mean, well, it's not an original effect. I know a billion people have probably done this before, but it's the first time I've ever done something like this. Like, use a ride to make an effect. I think it came out quite well. I think it's quite nice. Through into the motorcycle workshop. Here we are. The train's not going to go by now, isn't it? It's going to make me look really silly. But, yeah, we got, like, this table with stuff on it. And, like, these... Oh, hello, I've gone through the fence. And these pipes without stuff on it. Wait, here it comes. Yay! Oh, what? I think that's a cool effect, you know? If there's one thing I can praise this series for... Like, this is probably the best queue I've ever done. I love it so much. I think I've properly done a good job in building a queue. And, well, hopefully it will change how I build queues from now on. Anyways, make our way up these stairs, through this big, quite empty room, actually. It is an emptier room than most. And here we are in the station. And you know what? We're going to hop on for a front row POV. And here we go. Actually, hang on. Well, let's treat it. We can't even get in the bike seat. Never mind. As I say, obviously this isn't finished. You know, the outside of the building's never quite got done. But the insides were, and that's what's important. Anyway, I'll shut up now so you can hear the effect. Here we go, into that first launch. Through the inspection room. Up, over, through the entrance to the whole park, which I still think is a cool effect. Down through this weird outdoor room. I never quite knew what to do with this one, so it's just themed to outdoors. Make your way out and over. Through the streets of the city. The town, the district? I don't know what it's called. Down here, into the access tunnel. Launch straight under the path. And up over this top hat. And straight down into another building. Here's the lantern room. Background into another outdoor area. As you come round. More. Into another launch. That's right. More launches. And here's like the big helix that would have gone over the market in the centre. I still think that would have looked really cool. As you come down, past that, it's that one launch that goes past the path but doesn't actually really do anything, because I don't think you get much faster through either of these two launches. They're just there for show, really. And then there's the under construction room, but we'll get back to that in a minute. Quickly back through the lantern room, and then back through the outdoor room again. Come down, do some nice twists and turns, and we dive back into the access tunnel, chasing that other train into a slightly smaller, like, double top hat. This isn't really a top hat, is it? Through a block break, because this area is under construction. So you dive down under the path and into the, well, once again, under construction room. Here it is, into, oh no, what's going to happen? What? Oh, I can't believe it, the track isn't finished. Who did that? What buffoon didn't finish the track? As we come back down towards the ground and go a different way. What? Backwards through here, through the block break, as you head down into this weird backward section, which would have actually been inside Vault Labs. Couldn't figure out a better way to get it back, so it had to go through Vault Labs. You come through here into this weird, ominous, dark building again. Woo! I never actually themed this one particular tunnel. I themed this room, not you can see it because we're on the front row, but it's just a bunch of pipes behind walls. As we make our way back out through the final launch, up round and through the other side of the park entrance, which I still, once again, I think is a really cool effect. What is going on up there? Why is it so flashy and blue? What's that? Oh, it's gone. Never mind then. We very slowly creep our way forwards. You don't even realise where you are yet. And the lights turn on, hopefully. There you are, in the unload station. So there you go. Let's make our way out of here now, as I run through what I'm going to do moving forwards. So obviously, this park is done. This park, well, it's not finished, but it's done, if that makes sense. Going forwards, I think I want to do a living park. You know, like how I tend to play the game, but in series format this time. I want to actually, like, make a park that, like, over the course of about 50 simulated years, from the 70s to about now, I would want to show a park's lifespan. Because one of my favourite parks I ever built was back in Planet Coaster 1, and I did exactly that. I started it in 1970, and then every in-game year was a year of the park's life. And I would, like, unlock rides as we got later on, like when they would have realistically come about. And it was so much fun, because it built a proper, like, something that's really rare in Planet Coaster, a park with history. Because there was a whole selection of, like, historic rides I had to make the call to remove when it was, like, their time to go. I have been, ever since Planet Coaster 1, I've had a system that I'm working on that simulates, like, the aging of rides. And it's one of my favourite things I've ever done, because it makes the game so much more fun. Because you can, like, see as a ride ticks down to, like, when you have to make the choice to, like, retrack it or remove it. I think it's really fun. And I think it'll be even more fun to build a series around that. To show off that system in play. So I think there could be a break from Planet Coaster. There probably will be, just so I can like kind of fall back in love with this game. Because to be honest, this park, it's not like my love for the game has faded or anything. It's just I've gotten a lot less motivated in this game thanks to this park. So it might take a little while of just building anything really to get back into the swing of it. And then I think I'll come back with my third and hopefully first successful attempt at a Planet Coaster series. Because, well, we can't sit here and pretend that either this or Ridgemont Park was very good. They weren't. So hopefully my first good Planet Coaster series. And yeah, we'll just see how that goes eventually. Anyway, that is all from both me and I thought the park's called and Worlds of Wonder. Once again, I'm sorry that the park had to go out like this, but I think it's better than dragging it out for another 30 episodes. And to anyone who cared about the park, once again, my apologies. Hope knowing like what the themes would have been and getting to see Hush Rush Postal Service from on the ride made up for everything. Anyway, this park has, I was going to say it's been a pleasure. It's not really been a pleasure for the past 4 episodes. But, you know what, it was a learning experience. Learning that I don't want to build a park like this ever again. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.